BSIT 111, and let me introduce to all of you my group mates.
Miss Olivia Dorado, Miss Sara Abanera, Mr. Henrik Elguera, Mr. Adrian Diguignon, Mr. Andre Jefferson Leiba, Miss Maybelline Monzon, and Mr. Aldrin Christian Mendoza.
We will discuss one of the global issues that we are facing as of today. A global issue is any issue that adversely affects the global community and environment. One of the major global issues of today's world is unemployment.
Before we proceed to our topic, which is the causes and effects of unemployment, let me share you first what is unemployment and what are the types of unemployment.
According to CFI or Corporate Finance Institute, unemployment is a term referring to individuals who are employable and actively seeking a job but are unable to find a job. Unemployment, ito ay tumutukoy sa mga individual na naghahanap ng trabaho pero hindi sila makahanap ng work or job. Kawalan ng trabaho ay nararanasan ng maraming tao until now, lalo na sa panahon ng pandemic. A lot of people lost their job and a lot of company establishments are also closed. Included in this group are those people in the workforce who are working but do not have an appropriate job. When we say workforce, ito yung mix of workers from different racial ethnic background, different domestic and national cultures. Unemployment can be classified as frictional, cyclical, structural, and institutional. This will be discussed by Ms. Olivia Dorado.
Thank you, Ms. Alexandra Trinidad. Good afternoon. I am Olivia Dorado and I will discuss the types of unemployment. Frictional unemployment. When people willingly shift employment with an economy, this is known as a job hopping. It takes time to find another work. If person leaves a company, similarly recent graduates who are just starting their careers contribute to frictional unemployment. Ano nga ba ang frictional unemployment? Ito yung mga taong lumilipat sa ibang company dahil siguro may problema sa company, kaya yun yung nagiging sanhi. Another example is fresh graduate college. Ito yung mga naghahanap pa ng mga trabaho na comfortable sila. Cyclical unemployment is the shift in the number of unemployed workers over time, such as during economic ups and downs, caused by the changes in oil prices. During recessions, unemployment rises, while during periods of economic expansion, it falls. Structural unemployment comes about through a technological change in the structure of the economy in which labor market operate. Technological changes such as the replacement of horse-drawn transport by the automobiles or the automation of manufacturing lead to unemployment among workers displaced from jobs that are no longer needed. Institutional unemployment. Institutional unemployment results from long-time or permanent institutional factors and incentives in the economy. Institutional unemployment, ito yung organisasyon kung saan walang trabaho at mababa ang mga produkto nila. Dahil na rin ito sa gobyerno na nagiging sanhi upang bumagsak ang ekonomiya. Ms. Abanera will discuss the causes of unemployment.
Thank you, Ms. Olivia Dorado. So good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sara and Abanera, and I will discuss to you the causes of unemployment together with Mr. Henrik Puyawan. So we already know what unemployment means. So now let's proceed to my topic, which is the causes of unemployment. So again, I have here some causes of unemployment. The first one is low level of education. The second one is gender discrimination. The third one is increased population or population growth. And the last one is financial crisis. So let's start with low level of education. What is low level of education and why is it one of the causes of unemployment? People with less education have greater unemployment rates than those with more education. Companies prefer better educated workers to lower educated individuals for occupations that were previously performed by lesser educated workers. Unemployment is often caused by a low level of education, and people who lack sufficient education, on the other hand, are at a high danger of unemployment since employers generally refuse to hire them. So, halimbawa na lang sa isang company, sa isang kumpanya, sa isang malaking kumpanya, and may mga aplikante na nag-a-apply para sa isang posisyon. Halimbawa, isa ako sa mga aplikante na yon. So, pag nag-a-apply ka kasi ng work para sa mga wala pang experience, may mga pagdadaanan ka muna bago ka makapasa. Dadaan ka muna sa screening, exam, interview, then tsaka mo malalaman kung nakapasa ka ba, then bago yung orientation. Parang problema lang yun sa buhay. It's either malalampasan mo yung pagsubok na yon or hindi. So, pag nag-a-apply ng trabaho, may tinatawag na screening. Sa screening pa lang may mga na-eliminate na or may mga bumabagsak na. Kasi doon, tinitingnan na nila or binabasa na nila yung mga information na nakalagay sa resume na pinasa mo. Kung qualified ka ba or hindi. So, kunwari, marami kami nag-a-apply doon sa isang kumpanya na yon. And hindi naman ganun kataas yung pinag-aralan ko. Tapos yung mga kasabayan or kasama mong mag-apply, mas mataas yung pinag-aralan kaysa sa'yo. So, doon pa lang, medyo tagilid na ako noon. Siyempre, sa tingin nyo, kanino ba mas ipagkakatiwala ng kumpanya ang isang posisyon? Siyempre, doon na sa alam nilang may mataas na pinag-aralan, di ba? So, doon pa lang, malalaman ko na kung sino yung maaring ma-hire sa aming mga nag-a-apply. And so, the level of education you have is still important if you want to have a better job or to get the position you want. Because when you're looking for a job, you will have many competitors. And lack of education can cause major challenges when it comes to getting a good job, depending on the level of competition and the economy's macroeconomic outlook. A low level of education is major cause of unemployment. And always remember that there is a great demand for well-qualified workers. The higher qualified people have an easier time finding job. So let's now proceed to gender discrimination. So gender discrimination refers to unfair treatment or inequitable difference between group of people in society in terms of right, opportunities, and status. Gender discrimination in a workplace can take a various form, but in generally refers to an employee or job applicant being treated differently or less favorably because of their gender identity, or sexual orientation, despite the fact that the terms sex and gender have distinct meaning. They are frequently used and interchangeable in workplace discrimination law. There is still significant gender difference between men and women in several countries. Women are frequently regarded unequally to men, which results in significantly less work chances. You know, guys, according to McKinsey on women in a workplace, corporate America has made almost no progress in improving women's representation over the past 4 years. He also study showcases the drastic comparison between men and women in the workplace. It states that women are less likely to be hired into entry-level jobs than men, even though they currently earn more degrees and have some attrition rate. Furthermore, in some countries, also in our country, women are expected to stay at home and care for their children rather than to pursuing a profession, which raises the chance of unemployment because firms may be unwilling to hire women in this area. So not only the gap of women and men in workplace are part of gender discrimination, also the LGBT group. So we all know the LGBT group, diba? The lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. So I don't know why, but some at company or employer not accepting the LGBT. Pero based on my experience kasi, marami akong nakatrabaho na part ng LGBT and masasabi ko na walang problema pagdating sa work. Very active sila, masisipag, and sila din mismo yung pinagmumulan ng kasiyahan ng kumpanya. And employers should be fair when it comes to gender discrimination and to LGBT group. Kasi tao lang din naman sila, di ba? And mas lumalago pa sila ng lumalago. And kung yung mga kagaya nila ay hindi tatanggapin sa work, so mas lalago din yung mga unemployed around the world. So sa ibang countries nga, they're trying to hide their real identity just to get the position they want. Dapat maging aware yung mga employee or yung mga company about gender inequality, as well as how company owners treat people like them. Just because their sexual orientation is like that, their treatment is different, which will be the reason for that worker to leave the company. They don't think that it can't be a reason for that person to lose interest in work, diba? Na mawawala na siya ng interest magtrabaho dahil iisipin niya sa susunod na company papasukan niya, gano'n na naman yung trato sa kanya. So, dapat yung mga employers should treat their workers equally, whether they are part of LGBT or not. So, let's now proceed to increased population or population growth. Increased population leads to a higher unemployment rate. As the number of people looking for work grows, it becomes more difficult to find work for all of these people. And in this case, the demand of labor outnumbers the available occupations. So how does population growth cause unemployment? Rapid population growth affects income, saving, and investment, and as a result, capital development is slowed and work opportunities are limited, leading to an increase in unemployment. So, ilan na ba yung population natin sa buong mundo? According to the most recent United Nations estimates elaborated by Worldmeter, as of November 2021, the world population is around 7.9 billion. And the most populous country are China, which have 1.3 billion. And the next one is India, then United States, Indonesia, and Pakistan, so on and so forth. So here in our country, here in the Philippines, our population is around 111 million. So sa dami ng population na yun, hindi lahat yon may mga trabaho. And according to ILO or International Labor Organization, around 220 million are expected to remain unemployed globally. So later, i-discuss po sabi niya ng isa naming kagrupo. So balik nga po tayo doon. Biruin nyo, sa Pilipinas pa lang ha, may 8.9% or equivalent to 4.25 million Filipinos ang walang trabaho. And sa China, they have 4.2% unemployed people. So, nagiging dahilan talaga yung laki ng populasyon sa pagtaas ng kawalan ng trabaho. And that increasing population makes it harder to keep everyone employed. There are too many people consuming too much and diminishing the Earth's long-run carrying capacity. And the problem is not too few jobs, but it's too many of them. So, paano ba natin may iwasan yung ganun, di ba? Yung paglago or paglaki ng populasyon na sa panahon ngayon, ang dami ng kabataan ang maagang nabubuntis. And for me, mahalaga pa rin talaga na kailangan pag-isipan yung mga bagay-bagay. Mahalaga pa rin yung family planning kasi ang hirap ng buhay ngayon, sobra. Isipin na lang muna natin yung future na magiging pamilya natin and dapat secured na lahat. So let's proceed to the last causes of unemployment that I have there, a financial crisis. Before that, kung naaalala natin back on 2008, yung naging kaso sa krisis ng pananalapi sa mundo, maraming tao ang nag-suffer at maraming business ang nagsara. And may mga kumpanya na kailangang wakasan yung kontrata ng mga trabahador nila kasi yung demand na para sa kanilang serbisyo o kalakal ay bumaba ng malaki. at kailangan nilang tanggalin yung ibang empleyado upang makaligtas na rin sa panahon ng kahirapan sa ekonomiya. Depende kung gaano kalala yung crisis, but maaari itong humantong sa pagtaas ng rate ng kawalan ng trabaho. And marami rin nagfa-file ng bankruptcy just like commercial bank and insurance company. Million din ang mga tao na nawalan ng trabaho. It's one of the downfall of every country in the world, just like England, France, and other country. Yung pag-recover nila sa crisis na yon was really slow for the most Americans kahit na tinulungan na sila ng government. And at the year 2010, some of them had fully recovered their losses, but unfortunately some of them never did. So, what is financial crisis again? So, financial crisis occurs when the value of financial instrument and assets falls rapidly. As a result, business struggle to achieve their financial obligations, and financial institutions lack the cash and convertible assets necessary to fund projects and meet immediate demands. So financial crisis assets prices see a steep decline in value. Businesses and consumers are unable to pay their debts, and financial institutions experience liquidity shortages. A financial crisis is often associated with panic or bank run, during which investors sell of assets or withdraw money from savings account will drop if they remain in a financial institution. So, bakit nga ba nagiging sanhi ng kawalan ng trabaho ang krisis sa pananalapi? So, ganito yan. Habang bumababa ang output at demand ng isang kumpanya, limited lang din yung pagkuha nila ng mga bagong manggagawa. So, ano ba yung output at demand na sinasabi? Output is a quantity of good or services produced in a specific time period, while the demand, it is referring to the amount of some product that a consumer is willing to able to purchase of each price. So, habang bumababa ang output at demand ng isang kumpanya, binabawasan din nila yung pagkuha ng bagong manggagawa, at ito ay humahantong sa pagtaas ng kawalan ng trabaho. At other than that, maaari ding magtanggal or magbawas ng tauhan or empleyado ang isang kumpanya dahil sa krisis na kinaharap nito. So, financial crisis may be limited to a single country or one segment of financial services, but is more likely to spread regional or globally. So, financial crisis is one of the major causes of unemployment. Because of this, many workers suffer and some businesses are stopped. So, for further more information about causes of unemployment, let's call Mr. Henrik Puyawan. Thank you, guys.
My name is Henrik Elguera, BSIT 111. Lack of education skills. Employment is education is not adapted to the work market. There is a mismatch, leads to structural employment. This occurs when a person's qualifications are insufficient to meet his job responsibilities. This person is having trouble learning new abilities that are to their work. As she need for skilled and educated worker, increase for employment. The employment opportunities without a college decrease, leading to higher global recession. During the recession, many workers, their jobs, the largest number in manufacturing. This meant that companies could no longer afford to employment people and had to reduce the workforce, contributing to the employment rate in the country. Ito ay nag-uurong ekonomiya kung saan ang mga negosyo ay nakakakita ng mas kaunting demand at nagsisimulang mawalan ng pera upang mabawasan ang gastos at mapigil ang pagkalugi ng mga kumpanya. ay nagsisimulang magtanggal ng mga manggagawa na bumubuo ng mas mataas na antas ng kawalan ng trabaho. Physical health problems. Physical health problem issues may also contribute to an increased probability of unemployment. Ang mga taong may kapansanan ay ating nahirapan ng humanap ng trabaho dahil may mga kumpanya na hindi tumatanggap ng mga taong may disabilities, lalo na sa mga seryosong karamdaman. Lack of motivation. Some people choose to spend their days watching TV or playing video games. Rather, they working for persons with a poor degree of education. This lack of perseverance work may be very high. This make working unappealing to them, especially if they have adequate social security, their basic expenses. May mga tao na panghihinaan ng loob na humanap ng trabaho dahil naiisip nila na baka hindi agad sila matanggap, kaya naman mas pinipili na lang nilang hindi humanap ng trabaho.
Good day everyone, I am Adrian Dinginon and today I will discuss the effects of unemployment. First is the homelessness. Unemployment may also increase the chance of homelessness, especially in cities with high rents or condominium. People who become unemployed may struggle to keep their homes since they may no longer be able to pay their rent. Once they lose their homes, these people may end up homeless if they do not have family members or friends who can help them out with accommodation. Next is from the mental health issues. Unemployment can lead to severe mental health problems, especially for people who made their work their single purpose in life. Example of it is insomnia, stress, or sometimes they were being depressed. These people may often find themselves in a difficult mental state since they just basically lose their whole life once they become unemployed. May mga tao kasi na yung trabaho nila is talagang doon na naka-attention yung buhay nila. Kumbaga parang gusto nila kapag magtatrabaho sila is full time, mahal na mahal nila yung trabaho nila. Kaya once na nawala ito, parang naguno yung mundo nila. Some people may also feel not valuable when they have to stay at home instead of going to work, which may lead to mental issues like depression. Next is drug use. Unemployment can also lead to substance addiction. People who mentally suffer from unemployment a lot may try to fight their emotional issues by using substances of all sorts. It's not just drugs, it can also be, you can be an alcoholic to forget your problems. They say you need to drink more alcohol, like that, something like that. Even the use of legal drugs like alcohol may lead to serious issues once people become dependent on the substance. So, grabe yung magiging effect ng unemployment sa tao. Pwedeng matuto siyang gumamit ng drugs or pwede rin siya maging addict, ganun. We can say. Criminal activities. Many crimes are committed by individuals who are unemployed and living in poverty. When unemployment rates increase, crime rates tend to rise. According to the study in the Journal of Quantitative Criminology in 2016, individuals who are unemployed for socially unacceptable reasons and don't wish to seek out job opportunities are more likely to engage in burglary or robbery. Criminal activities. Pwede mo rin siyang i-connect sa mental health issues. Kasi, for example, stress ka, tapos may pamilya kang binubuhay na walang ka ng trabaho kasi nagkaroon ng nagkatanggalan sa trabaho nyo, nagbabawas ng tao. Kunwari ganun yung sitwasyon. Isa ka sa natanggal, kahit isa ka sa, kumbaga sabihin nating pinakamasipag, pero natanggal ka. That is an acceptable reason. So dahil doon, stress ka. Lalo na baon pa kayo sa utang. So, doon napapasok sa isip ng tao na magnakaw, mang-hold up, yung mga ganon. Kasi, no, para sa kanila, no choice na sila eh. Kahit ayaw nila maghanap ng trabaho kasi sinasabi nila na hindi rin sila matatanggap kasi nga yung pinag-aralan nila, ganun ganyan. Kaya doon na pumapasok sa isip nila na magnakaw, mang-hold up. Kasi nga para sa kanila, no choice na talaga sila eh. Kumbaga parang yung sa mga tao, yung mga sakit na kadalasan na natatanggap ng mga tao is katamaran. Inatamad sila maghanap ng trabaho. Or yung iba is wala na talagang mahanap kasi punuan na lahat. Kaya doon na pumapasok sa isip ng tao na ano nang gagawin ko. Baon na ako sa utang, di na ako pwede mangutang, nakakahiya naman kung lalapit ako sa mga kamag-anak ko, mga ganun. Kumbaga parang yung pride nila is mataas pa rin eh. Ayaw nilang humingi ng tulong sa iba. Kahit sabihin mong hirap na hirap na sila. Hindi ko nilalahat ha. May mga taong ganun. Pero may mga tao din naman na lahat ng resources nila is gagamitin nila para lang makasurvive sila ng pamilya niya. Kumbaga parang ano siya, yung wala siyang pake sa pride niya, basta yung pamilya niya is makakain na 3 times a day. Wala na siyang pake kung lumuhod man siya o magmakaawa man siya dyan. Ang mahalaga sa kanya is mapakain yung mga anak niya, yung pamilya niya. So, Mr. Andre will continue the effects of unemployment. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Andre Jefferson Leyva, and my topic is about effects of unemployment. Poverty, especially long-term unemployment, may also lead to a significant level of poverty. Since most of people rely on their jobs in order to be able to pay their bills, once these people lose their jobs, they may no longer be able to afford the things for their daily life and may suffer from significant poverty. Since ito din yung epidemic natin ngayon, since pandemic, maraming nawalan ng trabaho and mas tumaas ang poverty sa atin. Next is social isolation. Losing your job may lead you into social isolation. Since we spend so much time in our job, many connections and friends result out of it. However, if you are unemployed, chances are that the number of social interactions you have are quite limited. Example, meron kayong bonding with friends, di mo magagawang sumama dahil kapos ka sa budget mo kasi wala kang trabaho, unemployed ka, ganun. Next is adverse effects on children who came from families with unemployed parents often have a greater risk of unemployment themselves, since parents often have the great influence on their children. Ito yung mga bata na kinukulang sila sa nutrition and vitamins dahil hindi napupunan ng mga unemployed parents. Last is economic effects. There are also significant adverse economic effects related to unemployment. Economies lose large amount of money since they have no financially support unemployment person. Kabilang din dito yung mga low income, low savings, capital formation, low living standards, and low labor productivity. Thank you.
Miss Maybelline will show you the global unemployment rate.
Hello everyone, my name is Maybelline Armonson and the topic that I will discuss is about unemployment rate. Why the unemployment rate matters. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, when workers are unemployed, their families lose wage and the nation as a whole lose their contribution to the economy in terms of the goods or services that could have been produced. Unemployed workers are lose their purchasing power, which can lead to unemployment for other workers, creating a cascading effect that ripples through the economy. In this way, unemployment even impacts those who are still employed. The statistics shows the global rate of unemployment from 2010 to 2020. The unemployment rate in 2010 is 5.92%. Unemployment rate in 2011 is 5.78%. Unemployment rate in 2012 is 5.78%. Unemployment rate in 2013 is 5.77%. Unemployment rate in 2014 is 5.63%. And unemployment rate in 2015 is 5.63%, and the unemployment rate in 2016 is 5.66%, and the unemployment rate in 2017 is 5.55%, in 2018 is 5.37%, 2019 is 5.37%, and 2020 is 6.47%. Between 2019 and 2020, the number of unemployed people worldwide increased from 187.3 million to 220.3 million, the biggest annual increase in unemployment in this provided time period. In 2020, the number of people unemployed increased slightly to almost 220.5 million, but is expected to fall 205 million in 2022.
Hi everyone, my name is Aldrin Christian Mendoza from BSIT. So we will talk about the impact or effect of unemployment. Impacts of employment on individual. The impacts of unemployment include poverty and hardship, strained relationship, poor health, and housing stress. The immediate consequences of unemployment are usually reduced income and increased amount of time spent in non-labor market activities such as leisure. Consequently, the satisfaction level regarding income decreases and with respect to leisure time it increases. So, ang impact daw po ng unemployment sa bawat individual na tao ay ang kahirapan dahil wala silang income at pagiging mahinang kalusugan dahil hindi sila makakain ng sapat na pagkain sa pang-araw-araw o hindi makakain ng 3 beses sa isang araw at pagiging stress sa buhay. Nangyayari daw ito dahil sa kawalan ng trabaho ng bawat individual. Effects of unemployment on society. The impact of unemployment also reaches out to the community and society in which an unemployed person lives. While one unemployed person will typically not have significant impact on society, high employment rates in certain areas often lead to higher poverty rates and poorer neighborhoods that amplify the societal impact of unemployment. Communities with high unemployment rates are more likely to have limited employment opportunities, low quality housing, fewer available recreation activities, limited access to public transportation and public services, and underfunded schools. Ang epekto daw po ng kawalan ng trabaho sa ating lipunan ay ang pagiging mahirap, limitadong oportunidad sa trabaho, hindi matibay na bahay, o maliit na bahay para sa isang pamilya. Limitadong maka-access sa mga pampublikong transportasyon at mga batang hindi makapag-aral sa eskwelahan. Nangyayari daw iyon dahil sa mga kawalan ng trabaho sa ating lipunan. Effects of unemployment on the economy. When employment rates are high and steady, there are negative impacts on the long-run economic growth. Unemployment wastes resources, generates distributive pressures and distortions, increases poverty, limits labor mobility, and promotes social unrest and conflict. Ang epekto daw po ng unemployment sa ating ekonomiya, kapag daw tumaas ang rate ng mga taong walang trabaho, ay magiging epekto ito sa pagmatagalang paglago ng ating ekonomiya dahil siguro magiging kulang ang mga tao sa bawat kumpanya at ang kawalan daw ng trabaho ay nagdudulot din ng kaguluhan sa ating ekonomiya dahil maraming tao ang magugutom at makakagawa ng mali tulad ng pagnanakaw at may mga tao namang magrereklamo sa gobyerno at mag-arali.
Hello everyone. Again, I'm Alexandra Trinidad and I will discuss the summary and additional information of our report. Unemployment. Based on what was discussed earlier, unemployment is a term referring to individuals who are employable and actively seeking a job but are unable to find a job. So in short, ito yung mga taong naghahanap ng trabaho pero hindi sila makahanap ng trabaho. Now, let's proceed to the unemployment rate.
Who is included in the unemployment rate? The unemployment rate measures the share of workers in the labor force who do not currently have a job but are actively looking for work. People who have not looked for work in the past 4 weeks are not included in this measure. So in this topic, nagkakaroon ng misunderstood dahil hindi lahat ng walang trabaho ay kasama sa unemployment rate. So yung mga hindi naghahanap ng trabaho for the past 4 weeks, hindi sila kasama sa unemployment rate. How to calculate the unemployment rate? Here is the formula. Unemployment rate is equals to unemployed people divided by the labor force multiplied to 100. Labor force is the sum of the number of unemployed and employed people. The result of the calculation is the unemployment rate. What are the causes and effects of unemployment? In conclusion, there are different causes of unemployment around the world. The top causes are increased population, rapid technological change, lack of education or skills, and rising costs. The various effects of unemployment include financial, social, and psychological problems.
Miss Sarah and Mr. Henrik mentioned earlier that the causes of unemployment are low level of education, gender discrimination, increased population, financial crisis, lack of education skills for employment, global recession, and physical health problems. Ito yung madalas na dahilan kung bakit walang trabaho yung mga tao. Maybe some of you, those who are looking for work or part-time job, are also experience this. Especially the global recession. Simula nung nagka-pandemic, mas naging dahilan ito ng employment, hindi lang sa ibang bansa, pati na rin sa bansa natin. Dahil sa bumaba na yung demand at hindi na ganun kalaki ang kita, a lot of companies and establishments are closed. The effects of unemployment discussed by Mr. Adrian, Mr. Andre, and Mr. Aldrin are the following: homelessness, mental health issues, drug use, criminal activities, poverty, social isolation, adverse effects on children, and economic effects. Dahil sa walang trabaho yung mga tao, ito yung nagiging effects ng unemployment. Individuals and families, the effect of unemployment is reduce of income. Para sa mga konti lang yung savings, yung iba wala pang ipon, mahirap mawala ng trabaho at dito papasok ang poverty. So ikaw, for example, may family ka na binubuhay, hindi pwedeng mawalan ka ng trabaho kaya kahit anong work is papasukin mo. Next is, how does the unemployment affect the economy? Unemployment has caused to a society that are more than just financial. Unemployed individuals not only lose income but also face challenges to their physical and mental health. Government costs go beyond the payment of benefits to the loss of production of workers, which reduces the gross domestic product or the GDP. Hindi lang sa pera nagkakaroon ng epekto ang unemployment, kundi sa mental health and physical health din ng tao. Sometimes you don't know what to do kasi wala ka ng pagkukunan ng income, kaya yung iba nakakagawa ng criminal activities like yung drug possession, pagnanakaw, yung iba nagsusuicide na lang dahil nade-depress sila kakaisip kung paano pa sila mabubuhay. So it's better to have someone to talk to and listen to you dahil hindi natin alam kung gaano katatag ang isang tao. That's all for our presentation. I sincerely appreciate your attention today. I hope you learned from us. Thank you for listening, everyone, and thank you, Miss Lee.